All right. So, guys, happy Monday. Not guys, ladies. I always say that. Hey, guys. Ladies, happy Monday. Excited to be here with you all tonight. Stacy and I have a meeting for you that's going to be, I think, impactful. Stacy's actually going to take the lead. I'm just gonna kind of gonna open up with Team Cup details because Team Cup is around the corner. I know I have my team set up, but for those that don't, this is a time to absolutely get on board. I know that February 1st we start, so this is also a great time to start getting the teams ready to register. I still have to register my team, but we have a name, we have all the girls, so that's exciting. And so I wanted to just share with you what I have in mind. And if you girls want a copy of this document, I'll be more than happy to give it to you. The other thing I wanted to also just touch on before we, get started with the meat of the call is today Autumn shared an announcement about she's doing a program, not a program. It's kind of like Nightly Control Freak, but without the equipment. I was what I understood was that the goal of this is basically she's doing a new no equipment 9-week Control Freak challenge pack. They also have completion packs and digital only access. Okay. The apparently it looks like if it's gonna launch February the 7th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the goal of this is because I guess they were realizing that there was people that were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped! I definitely want to take control," but apparently they are unable to participate because of the equipment. So I'm assuming that they don't have a door or a wall where they can, and they just kind of want to reach more people, help more people. So I think this is going to be such a great avenue for us to really just hit more people, right? And it's going to be basically an alternative path with using only dumbbells. Um, and so the great thing about those of us that already bought 9-week Control Freak, this is going to be included for us for free. That's what I'm understanding based on the message that I read today. So it looks like if, this is going to be, again, an extra bonus for those who already purchased. Now, I do know that they are going to start like releasing the workouts at different times, different dates. Um, and I'm not sure about the pricing. I have to look at that. So there is just a lot of information that I still have to like get really familiar with, but I do know that all the workouts have dates when they're going to be released, and then it does say there is going to be a training on the Beachbody Champions page. So guys, we don't have the date of the training, but stay on top of that because that's going to give you more leverage to reach more people. Because if somebody gives you an objection, oh, I'm not into the equipment, I don't have a place, I don't have space, I don't want to mess up my doors, or nope, I don't have nobody to install that for me in the wall, you could say, awesome, we have this as well. All right. So going back to Team Cup before I hand it over to Stacy, let me go ahead and share my screen really quick, and I want to show you. This was the document that I used last year for my Team Cup. Obviously, the date is updated, but I do want to show you that there is strategy behind Team Cup for you to rank advance, for you to hit Success Club, and for you to get your, coaches under you that are on the same team or on any team to get them earning Success Club points. So I have a document where it does specify how to earn. I'm not going to go into that now because we can always chit chat on the thread, or you could take some time to read this, go over it. And if you have any questions, remember the FAQ is your best friend, and then you could always reach out to us. But I do want to make sure that you guys know that these points are amazing because look at the prizes, guys. You get all these prizes if you hit. There's a massage wand, there's the hoodie. Apparently here with this one, whoever gets enrolled, they get an exclusive virtual live workout. Then there's a team reward for a Fitbit. And then the very last one, the champion one, includes AirPods, smartphones, a new iPad. So, I mean, the rewards are incredible. And again, all of this is strategy for you to rank advance, hit Success Club, and get your coaches hitting Success Club. Because why? What does that do for your business? Not only does it grow it and move it forward, but guys, all of this goes hand in hand with Road to Elite. This is what Road to Elite is. So if you want to hit Team Builder, Team Leader, Premier, Elite, this is the formula. Then I've included a little Team Cup mindset where you can write down your goals. How are you going to celebrate? How are you going to commit? And then basically, I also attached a 100 no challenge. What does that mean? Go for the no. Because the more no's you get, the more seeds you're planting. The no's are just not now. And you're actually literally getting closer to your yeses. So all of this document, if you want, I could put it in my team page. Stace, if you want, I'll send it to you so you can share it with your girls if you like. And that way we can just crush Team Cup, because that is great to get us really, really, really like moving forward for the first quarter of the year. And that's what we want. Like for me, the first quarter is absolutely hitting Team Builder. And I know that this is what's going to get me there. So you guys have to be really, really on top of your game to strategize. And don't feel like if you don't know enough, don't feel like if, oh, well, I don't want to fail my teammates. Guys, team effort. We rub off on that energy. Everybody plays a role. And even if you do 0 points, you never know how you're adding value to the team in the chats. You could be adding so much inspiration. You cannot offer a single point and you don't know how you're helping your peers. So please do not like back down on that. All right, Stacy, my friend, my girl, this is all you. Take it away with this amazing call. I cannot wait to see what you have in store for us.
I love Susie. You guys, I think it's so great. First of all, I have to say that when you show up here to these calls, I know that including Susie and I, we are moving our time around with our kids, our husbands, our spouses, our partners, all these people. And I just want you to know, thank you. Thank you for taking time for your dream, taking time to, a lot of us have another job, right? Like this, we have another job and we have a Beachbody job. And I like that we're all pausing because this could be that job that ends up paying for the wages one day. So just stay hopeful for that. And I also want to take note that I had a flood here in my house. And it's another prime example why I work this business. I'm just going to talk financial real quick, because a lot of us don't have that extra breathing room. We have the, oh shit, right? What are we going to do? This is what we do, right? And Sharona can attest. I'm going to just briefly, I'm going to get into my presentation. We were doing a 9 p.m. late power hour together. We're like, let's just do this together. I said, Sharona, I'll be right back. I think my dog is in my room. I think she's doing something. And I went in there and she literally saw me in action, like go from talking and chatting and doing something to going like, oh my God, I'll call you right back. Holy crap, my house is flooding. Like she saw that. And she's like, okay, bye. And I got off the link and I went in there and I did what I had to. It was awful. Like it was awful. It's so much better today, thank God, because they're here fixing it. But what I want to share with you is that 5 years ago, I would have sat on this stairs over here by my landing and cried. And I would have said, what are we going to do? We can't put another thing on this credit card. We already have $5,000 on this credit card. Now it's going to be an additional $2 more grand. Like, I don't know if you guys relate to these stories, but this is what literally was me. And Sharona can attest to this. I literally, what was it? How many, was it like 20 minutes or something? 30?
It was, she came back to the call like 20 minutes later, and she took a second to get her thoughts together. And then she's like, okay, I gotta make a plan. We're gonna make a plan. And that's what she did. She made a plan on how she was going to attack it. She had a meltdown for like 2 seconds, went and did her thing, and then came back and said, okay, I gotta make my list. I gotta make my thing. And bam. And she put her head down and got to work. And that was really impressive to see it all like happen like it, because most people would have not come back to that call. Most people would have curled up in a ball and just lost it. But she set an amazing example of getting back and showing everything. Like, I got to do more this week. I'm going to do this. And it was just really impressive.
Oh, thank you. And I'm inspiring you guys with this story because I don't think we talk about this enough. I think we talk about like the tactics and the tacticals and this and that. But all I thought was, this is exactly why I work this business. And rather than sitting on that step, I did come back and I said, all right, I'm doubling my invites. I'm going to be a little more bolder this week because I don't want to feel, because that's going to happen again. That's not my first rodeo. It's not our last rodeo. I just don't want to feel the stress of what do we do? Okay. So I just want that to be inspiration. When you don't know what to do, lean into the group and work your business and share with love. So let's get into this presentation because I love that Suzette started off with the Team Cup and talked about Team Cup, because in order to rock star your Team Cup and just your business in general, you have to know what's going through your mind. Contrast and clarity is our topic tonight. And I know a lot of us can have a lot of contrast in our lives. I don't like this in my life. So I kind of would like this to be an interactive chat. We can, and if we can like be open and vulnerable in here, it's a private space, obviously, you guys. So I'm just going to share my screen. And so the first thing is we're going to talk about contrast. Can everybody see that screen? We're good to go. Okay. So the big word is contrast, and we are women and we are so great at this contrast. It's disgusting. It's also really great, right? We need to think of right now in the chat. I want you to write, you can do 5 to 10. Okay. But just try to think about 5 to 10 things right now that you don't like in your life right now. And I need you to say, I don't like worrying about my bank account. I'm gonna give you some of my examples. I don't like adding one more thing to my credit card. It makes my chest tight. I don't like having arguments with my spouse. I don't like having zero quality time with my kids. I'm always rushing to the next step, okay? And I want you to write these down. So just whatever is from your heart and popping up on the fly, because those are usually the things that matter the most, okay? So I want you to write these down, and I want you to think about, like, what are you tired of? Because usually the things that you're tired of happen on repeat, okay? And they literally drive you bananas. So hopefully some of my examples triggered some of your examples, and I'm bank shotting in the chat, and I can't read the chat. So I don't know if Susie, you can read the chat or not, or somebody else can, but I'm bank shotting that we have a lot in common tonight. And if we have a lot in common, go ahead, Susie.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I didn't see that the chat was going. I'm sorry. All right, so I see here not being able to pay off my debt. I'm tired of not having enough time. I don't like having no money for vacation for my son, paying off debt. Yeah, I mean, we're also similar in the same, in that aspect. We all want more financial freedom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what I want you guys to realize is this is a big part of this. A lot of times in this business, you're going to look at somebody and you're going to start comparing yourself. And I need you to understand that just because they might look in shape and have their hair highlighted perfectly and their makeup done flawlessly does not mean they are in credit card debt, does not mean their marriage is failing. So please do not disservice yourself and use that energy to wasted time. We do this, you guys. It's just human nature. We probably all learn this, good Lord, and since elementary school. But it's just a protection mechanism to making yourself feel okay. But I want you to use this as ammunition to realize we are a team, we are a sisterhood. And when your life has a lot of contrast, we're going to lean in tonight and we're going to realize our contrast is going to give us the clarity. The clarity is going to give us the team. The team is going to give us our freedom. Do you see that, how that formula works? So when life is hard, lean into your team. I know it's easy to lean out. I get it. But I'm going to ask you to do something different, because maybe You've never leaned in when you had a lot of contrast in your life. Maybe you've never leaned in. You've always leaned out and pushed your tracker off to the side, pushed reaching out to your coach to the side, pushed an invite. You don't have it in you, but those contrasts need you. They're begging for your clarity. Does that make sense? They're begging for your clarity. So I want you guys to realize that contrast is the formula to gaining your clarity. So here we are. I want you guys now to take whatever you wrote down. Let me go back here. And I want you to give me a clarity statement of what you just wrote. So for example, I'll help you out. I hate looking at my account balance. It's always in a stress mode balance. Your clarity statement is, I have abundant money flowing to me effortlessly, and I check my bank account with ease and joy. Guys, what you say shall be. So if you really want it, you've got to start sharing with the universe your clarity. And let me tell you something about a car. I'm not a car person, but I do know there's a battery in that car. And I do know there's a negative and there's a positive. And if your car dies, you have to charge it with the negative and the positive. Your car will not drive unless you charge with both. That is the same with your business. You charge your life with the negative and the positive to get your car to drive where you need to go, right? So I know sometimes we don't think about those things, but if you've ever had your car die, it kind of everything you can relate back to your business, okay? So if you haven't gone in the chat, I want you to take whatever you said I don't like, and I want you to give it clarity, because it needs you now in 2021. It needs you. It's begging for you. And while you're writing these things and while you're thinking about these things, I want you to know that before we did this call tonight, Susie and I hooked up over the weekend, and we really leaned into the Rise Up book, and we did tutorial 1 with Moira Casaba, and we did that contrast and clarity page if you have the Rise Up planner. And I encourage you to find somebody on your team and say, let's sacrifice an hour, whether it be on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever it may be, because right here is the only thing that's going to drive your business. It's the only thing that's going to drive it. Because I can tell you right now, when that house flooded, I did come back to the Zoom call, because everybody goes, I don't know what to do. My life is up in the air. Girlfriend, we have the answer right here, but you got to work for it. And I know it's hard, and I know we want to cry, and you're allowed to have a pity party, but just like a toddler, let them have it and they move on and they're fine, right? Give yourself 2 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes, but do not give yourself a day. Do not give yourself a week, because what happens is when you're in your contrast, you're going to lose all that beautiful streamline that you've been pumping into your business. The well will dry up. So I want you to get very quickly into your clarity. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions, or is anything coming up for people that you're like, holy crap, or is there an aha, or is there a relation? How are we doing? We doing good? Thumbs up.
So I love Sharona's clarity statements. Girls, we want you to be interactive with us tonight. So if you want to unmute yourself and share maybe, your contrast or your clarity, feel free.
Yeah.
Because I can read it off the chat, but I want to see how you girls feel about it. Because I know that when Stacy and I did it on Saturday, it was vulnerable. And Stacy even looked at me, she goes, are you uncomfortable? And I said, of course I am. But I still grew courage and I read them to her. And then we flipped it, and she helped me flip my contrast into my clarity and vice versa. So feel free to, at this moment, like Stacey said, it's a safe space to just say, this is something that is definitely a contrast in my life, and I want to turn it around into clarity.
And I'll tell you what, too, the best part about Susie and I getting vulnerable with each other is that we found out some really universal things that are why we are together. Her birthday is my wedding anniversary. Her dad is her number one go-to. and so was mine. My dad had passed away. And our dad's name is Greg.
Both dads.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Great. And we have a lot of things in common with our families and how we think of certain things and the relationships with certain family members.
Yes.
And it just confirmed that vulnerability led us to clarity, and not only clarity, but it just confirms the night that I met her. It
confirmed unity for us, at
Yeah.
least for me, right?
Yeah.
We were like, oh my gosh, it's just, there was so much. So you never know, like Stacey said, if you want to grab someone from your team and say, hey, I know I might not know you very well, but we're on the same team. Do you want to take a couple of minutes? And it doesn't mean that you have to share the most personal stuff, but grow together.
Yeah.
Unless if you don't mind doing it alone. But absolutely, I mean, if we're here, it's usually because we are like the ones that have courage. You know what I mean? So feel free to grab someone, even your upline coach, and say, hey, I need, a few minutes to go through this with you.
And I think what we realized too, you guys, in that moment is that we have so much in common. And I'm very certain we're going to find out we have a lot more in common because we lowered our comfort zones. So please voice and please share, and your voice is valid. And you deserve to be the hero of your story and the voice and the backbone. Okay. It's more than this. So just remember, we're here for you. And over here, I want you guys to take note as well. When life gets challenging, we need to literally lean in. Lean in. And I say this to my team, you're going to hear me say lean in. And then you're also going to hear, a lot of people like to use the word stress, hard times. I'm overwhelmed. And I'm going to say to you, that's your gift. Where's your gift in it? The mess is in the message is in the mess. Okay. So use what you are going through to inspire yourself into leveling up your life. This business is not about checking off your tracker. Okay. That's your guide. That's your to-do list, right? Da, 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 right? But if you realize that this will help you be a better communicator, because you've always wanted to be a better communicator, more proactive in gaining your financial control versus spiraling, because maybe you've learned that from your family and maybe you can be the first person to branch off and do it differently, right? Use what you're going through to inspire others so they can level up too.
Yes.
It's called relatability. And you know what the most beautiful thing is? Like when Susie said, oh my God, my dad's name is Greg as well. And then you know what I shared with her? I shared with her the most vulnerable moment that I had with my father. And just to put it out there, my dad did take his own life back in 2002. But I don't share a lot of things in the way that I shared with her. And it's because we started our contrast and our clarity. And what I realized was what our team stand for is the safest campfire you will ever sit around. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are understood, you are heard, you are respected, and everything you do is okay. And for a lot of us, we think quite the opposite. And that's another blessing this business gives you. It unwires all of that. And remember, what's happening to you is really for you. So I'm going to say to you, what's happening for you? I'll go, where's your gift? Where's your gift? And you're going to be like, what in the heck are you talking about? This is not a gift. This is a curse. I'm going to ask you, how's that going for you? How's that thinking process going for you? Is it getting you to get up and drive your life? Or is it making you park, put the emergency brake on, and put some pads underneath those wheels so they won't even move, right? So we got to think about that stuff, because listen, the people that drive their lives home are the people that lean in the most. And that's just in life, right? And so I also want to show you this other slide too, and we're going to open it up before we close out. And I just really wanted, all these people are on Diesel Nation, you guys, because we are all, it doesn't matter the name of your team. We are Team Beachbody, right? There's 400,000 of us, right? And I know sometimes sitting at your desk alone, getting 1,000 no's sucks, and getting ghosted stinks. And you start thinking, because that's happening, then the next landslide is, am I cut out for this? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. It's just a byproduct because the ego got in the way because we edged God out, or the universe, whatever you believe in, right? But all these people that you see here, number one, we're all dressed in red. Number two, every single person in here has something happening. And guess what? You all are part of this collage, whether you took a picture or not, you are part of this collage. And every single human being is doing something to change their life for the better, one person at a time, one personal development page at a time, one pull up at a time, one push up at a time, one Shakeology at a time, and never giving up. The word of the night is not just contrast and clarity. It is lean in. Because if we lean in, we become a sisterhood. We become a tribe. And I know Susie and I have this big vision of a bunch of us on these calls, and it's coming because it's here already. And we just want you to know that when it's what you need, lean in. Don't ever lean away, because when you lean away, you're about to miss your miracle. Your miracle is right on that horizon. And we just want you to know at the end of the day, too, no matter what you do in your business, we are supporting you. We believe in you. And I wrote believe wrong. Let's believe in us together, right? Let's believe in us together. What an amazing statement. Let's believe in us together. A lot of times we say, I need to start believing in myself. I need to start believing in myself, right? But what if we believed in us together? What if we did that? Because I know when I want to level up my life, it's hard to do it alone. It's hard to do it alone. But you know what I love? Is that I have every single person here, and I don't have to know you. I might have just met you, right? But I already love you, and I'm already on your team, and I'm already on your side. And if you were to message Susie and I right now and say, let's do this, the answer is hell yes, let's go. And so with that being said, I'd love to open it up, like Susie said, if you guys want to chat a little bit more. I know Sharona's been writing here. Melissa had written a little bit. Sharona wrote, I love how it feels to sit down and talk with my children instead of watch a time clock. That's a beautiful thing, because you know they grow like that in 5 seconds. I love that knowing soon it will just be my husband and children in my home. I love how I pick myself up after I feel as a failure and use it for information. That's growth. That's growth right there. And that is the product of consistency. And when you fall, you rise back up. And here's the other thing. The only thing that is failure, and this is from Christina Delgado's post that Susie was like, you got to go read this post. And I read it probably 1,000 times today. And it was, the only thing that qualifies as failing is just straight up quitting. And so I know that I don't, does everybody here on the call, do we all have children on this call? I don't know. Or do we all have kids? Kids? Yes, kids. Yeah. Okay. I know for a fact you are going to look at your children and say, get back on the bike, whatever that is, right? You're not going to quit. I'm not going to let you fail. You're not going to flunk, whatever it is, right? But the question becomes, and this is my bold statement, are you doing that for yourself first before you preach? Because if you're preaching, you're teaching your children how to preach, and you're not teaching them how to just do it, right? You want to be that example. So I know it's a little boldness right there, but I say that because we're leveling up our life. We're not playing small tonight. We're rolling dice for a bit. We're putting the chips on the table tonight, right? We're at the craps table and we're putting all our chips on something that we've never done before. The chips are on you. Have you ever doubled down on you? Have you ever believed in you? Or do you put the chips on somebody else's table? No, I actually believe Suzette a little bit more than myself, right? No, I believe in all of us, because together, like I know individually, everybody here is strong, but together, but together we are mighty. And that's the magic. So these calls are vital because you know what these calls do? They allow you to breathe oxygen into your business, into your doubt, into your worry, into your fear. And when we breathe this oxygen into you, you breathe it in and then you can breathe it out again, right? This is oxygen. This business is oxygen. And a lot of the oxygen out there right now is toxic. We all know what's happening. Good golly, Miss Molly. I'd rather watch 100 episodes of Peter Pan than watch the news. I'm serious. Like, I'd rather watch some Mary Poppins. Like, but like, it's brutal out there. And you know what happens? People get sucked in from the drama and the negativity and the hate. And then they start talking about it with other people and it's rehearsing in their minds. What if you took all of this and did the same thing with the negativity? You be the change. A lot of people say a lot of times lately, I'm taking a social media break. I'm so sick of it. But what if you were the breath of fresh air into social media? What if you were the breath of fresh air? Because I don't think social media is bad. I don't. You can unfollow, you can delete, you can block. You actually have this power. It goes like this. Bloop. Is it bloop? It's very easy to do. Bloop. It's very easy to do. So I want you to know, we want to breathe this oxygen into you. And I want you to breathe this in tonight. You're going to have contrast, but you also have your clarity. And there's a beautiful exercise, and I want to leave you guys with this, and then I'll let Suzette say what she needs to say and anybody else. But I was in therapy for 13 years, and my therapist taught me something really cool. And she said to me one day, she goes, "Your hair is so pretty." How many of you guys have done this? Everybody here has done this. I know this. Ready? Your hair is so pretty. Oh God. Like, I'm going to the hairdresser tomorrow. This looks like crap, right? Or whatever it is, right? Oh, I love you. This old thing, like, you dismiss yourself, right? And I did that once, and my therapist told me, "You couldn't even hold it for 1 second, Stacy." And I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Exactly." And that was the first moment that I realized I was actually uncomfortable holding my self-worth. When Beachbody came along and coaching came along, it made me level up our behaviors, which taught me that I am leadership. I am good. My roots are fine. And my shirt, got it at Target, and I'm damn proud, right? It's those moments that we're trying to talk to you guys about. And so when this week happens and you have that negative thought, you might be at the grocery store, right? We learned this on our tutorial, and something's frustrating you and you give into that frustration. That frustration is affecting your business. It is affecting your vision for being with your children and your husband and the trips that you want and the bank account that you need. So quickly and immediately, you need to say whatever that negative is. That's why we made you write this down. You got to say the positive. And for the longest time, I actually made myself wear bracelets. And if I said a negative, I didn't hurt myself, but I gently snapped it on my wrist to wake myself up. And whatever it was, I said, "I hate the way I look today, but I can walk." Right? It's that programming that you do. And that's what coaches do, because there's a lot of women out there that have a lot of contrast and they have zero clarity. And that's our gift. While we learn it, we share it. And that's the inspiration, and that's our business. So I hope this inspires you. I hope it gave you a tingle tug. I hope it gave you like, yes. And I hope some of this oxygen really felt good when you inhaled, because at the end of the day, like, I love what I do here. And I know Susie does too. And I know all of you do too. And I will never give up on my dreams. My job pays for my wages, but it's not paying for my fortune. It's not paying for my dreams yet. Okay. But I'm not going to stop, because I already know what that looks like. And I'm 41. I don't know if I'm going to have another opportunity where it says, here's everything you need to literally set your whole life free. Go do it. Because most of us have jobs where it's, "Can I have a day off? hey, could I have that raise? Hey, I didn't realize I'm working for your mission statement and I'm actually working for your dream, not mine. Now, while that's all fine and true, because you guys, we have to have money to pay our bills and our rent. We get that. But what I'm talking to you about is the dream and the relief. Who's paying for that? Who's starting that fund for you? Are you willing to fight for it? Are you willing to do it in pockets of time? I know I am. And I hope you are too. And I thank you for letting me speak. And I thank you for letting me be partnered up with Suzette and welcoming my team in with your team, because I want us all to succeed. And I just want to say thank you. So thank you for hearing me. Thank you for hearing you and your hearts and your contrast and your clarity. And we're here for you. So appreciated.
Thank you, Stacy. That was amazing, amazing. It was very profound because it makes you think about all the things that you don't want in your life. And I do just want to share that Stacy and I did do it. I don't want you to think that here we are preaching and we didn't do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my clarity and contrast statements. I don't even mind sharing a few with you guys, just so that you as well can get uncomfortable. So that, you know, and getting uncomfortable is just for the growth. So one of the ones that I wrote was, I don't want to mismanage my time. And I turned, there's Stacy's, and I turned it around. I said, I am in control and efficient of my time. Because I'm always complaining about I don't have time and I have so much to do. So this year I want to be extremely intentional with my time. Another one that I wrote is, I don't want to feel unorganized. And I wrote down, I am organized in every area of my life. I don't like being addicted to sugar. I turned it around and I put, I love knowing that I no longer struggle with food addiction. So those are just some examples that, you know, basically you will maybe make your wheels turn. And I think that the goal tonight between Stacy and I was to make you think, what do you not want in your life? That you now have the power and the choice, the decision to turn it around by just being very clear on what you do want and focusing what you do want versus, you know, just saying, well, I don't, you know, I have this and this is a negative, or I don't like this about my life. No, let's turn it around, because we all know that energy flows where focus goes, right? So the focus has to be the positive. So does anybody want to go ahead and unmute and share a little bit with us? I know that you wrote some of it in the chat, but what I think, Stacy, do you want to give them a homework that they could, you know, jot down like 5 contrasts and turn them into 5 clarity, so that they can at least start with vision? Or, you know, I'd love to, like, you know, be able to challenge you girls to do that, and then now unmute and share what's on your heart.
I think it would be great for all of us to do that. Sharon, are you unmuting, Boo? I feel like she's going to unmute. Let's see if I can help you. There she goes.
I was going to share something and I totally forgot what it was. What was the question again?
So the contrast and the clarity, we were just trying to see if anybody wanted to open up and just share a little bit more to just inspire another human tonight to realize that it is okay.
A big thing with me is like I still get those words in my head that constantly put me down, and that's something big that I'm really trying to work on. And so I love like today, because I am diving deep into this Rise Up book, and I haven't even done like my whole vision yet, because it has to be way deeper than it was last year, and I kind of rushed through it last year, but I really like Mora Kasaba says, you know, affirmations that create conflict. If you're always looking at your affirmations like I'm a millionaire, but you know you're not a millionaire, it's going to create negative energy in your life. And so that's why it's so important to do the contrast with the clarity, is because affirmations are good, but if you don't believe the affirmation, it's not going to change your situations.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's really good to do this exercise. And I really have learned so much from last year to this year with my contrast and my clarity and what's going on. And so I feel like this year it's going to just be very, very different and way, way big for me this year for
Mhm.
some reason. I have it in my gut. So I'm
Mhm.
excited for where everything's going. So thank you guys.
Oh, you're welcome, babe. And I think also to you guys, and I know I have to work on this too. So again, remember, none of us we're all in the same ball field, right? I really, this is a real chance. This is a real chance. You see it in the movies, right? You see the kid or the woman going like, I have a real chance at this. I could really, like, you see it, right? Guys, movies are there to inspire you to produce action, not to just inspire you and go, well, that was a great movie. It's there to, like, it's real. It's not out of your reach. But I think the big thing tonight is we got to start really believing in it while we do the action habits. I think that's the magic. So it's really going to require, like Sharona said, slowing down and breathing that belief. And I think I'll tell you what, when I leaned in with Susie the other day, and this is the team that we're trying to cultivate, we're trying to have a campfire that kicks ass and takes names. Okay. So that's what we want. We see a sea of people on our campfire. But in order to do that, everybody's got to sit at that campfire together. And one person can't be sitting over there with their own little chair. They have to come in.
Yeah.
So another bold, real statement there, because that's what we want, because we need that too.
Yes, I agree. And what I loved about the contrast and the clarity statements is that it almost develops your why, your vision,
Yes.
your mission, right? And that's really key to have, because when things get hard, that's exactly where you got to go back to. You've got to go back to your why. You've got to go back to your vision. You've got to go back to your mission and say, let me remind myself of why it is that I raise my hand to be a coach, and remind ourselves of all the blessings that it does give us, no matter how hard it gets. It's like Stacy said, this is a business opportunity that it just really can solve almost every problem. And it does lead to personal freedom with time, financial, emotional, all the things, if we allow ourselves to grow, if we do put in the work. And, this to me is putting in the work. And I'm proud of myself and of Stacy for doing it, because like I said, it was uncomfortable. But we did it. And we're going to hold each other accountable now. And it's a great thing. And that's what we want to just pass on to you. We want to pass on the baton that when things get hard, we're here, and to inspire you to, just like she said, lean in and let's do it together. Let's hold each other accountable, because it's only going to set us up to grow. So.
Those dreams are waiting for us to shake hands and embrace them. They're waiting, but the universe gives us two hands to do work, right? So it's there. Just hang on until that miracle comes and just keep growing. Oh, see, and you know what I love about these team calls, Susie, is that if you feel slumpy some days, don't you feel better when you get on a call? Like, don't you feel like, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
Or if you had something happening, a little friction, and you heard that one thing, you're like, oh, right.
Yes.
Right. So that's what this
Mel,
gives
do you
me.
want to share something?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from you.
Although I've been a coach for a while, I kind of feel like I've really leveled up within the last, I don't know, maybe this month. I feel like I've been trying to get a morning routine, because I've been working at home even way before COVID even started. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I run to my computer in my PJs. So I'm trying to get a habit of actually like writing in my planner. And it is kind of like faith-based. And it has like what I'm thankful for. And I actually have been writing it down. My priorities, like today, my priorities for the week are my workout,
Oh, you muted her, Stacy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean.
It's okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Do your what you
Your
were
priority
writing.
is your workout, and then I didn't hear anything else.
Okay. So I wrote like my priorities for the week. I wrote my workout, my power hour, my nail appointment, my team meeting, which is you guys, and my hair appointment. Like I'm actually writing things down, and then I'm even writing like my prayer list. Like, yeah, obviously I pray, but I feel like it's more intention,
Yes.
So like, for example, I know they don't know them, but you know them. I have Zoe, Mel and Jenny, your friend,
Yeah,
and then the sick.
thank
You know, so it's just like I do it like with more intention. And then I've also started to do a to-do list, which actually I feel like really helps me. And I make sure, I mean, obviously sometimes it doesn't all get done, but I've been trying to put I'm gonna read 5 pages of my personal development book. Like the other day I was able to read 6. You know, so I'm really trying. I feel like I'm really leveling up, and I'm trying to change my mindset, because I'm thinking, yes, that's great that Christy and Becky and Susie and Stacy and everybody, but why not me?
Exactly.
Like, what makes me different? Why
You
not
just
me?
nailed it. Yes, Melissa.
And then I have another friend of mine that she had written a post, and I was like, I never thought about that. So I made my own post with my own, you know, my own thing, and I was like, okay, I can do this.
I
So
love
yeah,
it.
it's a little bit scary at times, but why not me? What makes me different than Susie, than Christina Delgado? Then what makes me different? That I'm a baby and they're an adult, or a grandma and I'm a baby? It's okay. It comes with time.
It's not even that. We're all different. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of this. But
And I've also realized not to compare myself. Like, don't look at my body compared to your body, or my body compared to Becky's body, because at the end of the day, our bodies are not designed the same.
at all.
Like, the boobs that I have, Becky will never have those boobs. You'll never have the boobs that I have. So it's like, I want my self-image to be something, but in reality, that's not the way my body was designed.
Right?
I would love this prima ballerina body with these boobs. It's never gonna happen. And I've had to embrace that over the years. It's never gonna happen. And then I'm like, people pay for this. I was
That's
blessed.
right.
So like, it is
That's
what it
right.
is.
I love it.
You
Mel.
know?
What I'm seeing is, number one, I'm seeing growth. Number two, I'm seeing actual accomplishment, which should make you feel confident in yourself.
I
And
am.
three, what I love the most is intentionality. So now you're being more intentional. And isn't that the goal of our life? Is to be intentional with the one life that we're given. If
Mhm.
we are not living intentional, what are we doing? We are missing the mark. I said that last year, remember, Mel, in the team calls quite a few times. Guys, if we are not living intentionally, we are missing the mark. We are throwing those darts and they are way off. So I applaud you, Mel, because we should be intentional about everything, about the way that we live, about the way that we eat, about the way that we, are diligent, and are we effective, and are we efficient, and are we here to really leave our mark and leave a legacy, and know that we can achieve and we can overcome, and that we are strong, and that everything's going to be okay no matter what. We've got to think that way.
And you're, Melissa, oh, I don't know. Like, this is my first time, I think, being on a call with you. And girl, your energy is.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Mel. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. So, I thank you for sharing, Melissa, because that's amazing. Amazing.
And my daughter, I want to tell you, side note, my daughter refuses to do the workouts with me, but today I did make her walk 1.5 miles. So I do make her walk, and I'm doing my workouts, and she's going, Mommy, you need to move down more. Mommy, you need to get down more. Mommy, you need to bend. And I'm just like,
you're like, damn,
she's
sister.
Like she's like this on the couch. She's like this on the couch. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to do my workout. I'm not going to do it. But then she's like, Mommy. And she's looking at the TV like this. And she's looking at me. She's going, Mommy, get down more. Look at the girl on the TV. Get down more. And I'm like, so you won't do it, but you want to sit there and tell me. So she's watching.
Of course
she's telling me. She's telling me, you need to get more down on that lunge. You need to put your foot straight. You need, like, okay, thanks.
You're like, God, I hope I'm doing it right. Now I'm
And
all
then,
nervous.
like you're doing the stuff and then you're like out of breath. So I'm like, let me catch my breath. And she's like, you better pause that TV.
Yeah.
Don't let the time go by.
Oh my God. I
love it.
Love it.
All right, girls. So we've been at this for almost an hour. I'm so thankful. It was a great meeting. Love it. Thank you, Stacy, for an amazing presentation. It's a lot of soul work, very profound, but it's definitely something that's going to really, help us just elevate this year. So homework, Stacy, what would you like the girls to do?
I think we should go bold. I think we need to do 10 contrasts, and I think we need to do 10 clarity. And I think it needs to be due by Friday morning.
I love it.
Take your time and do it. Oh, well, some people already have it done over there. Brown noser, just joking. But you know what though? As soon as you do it, make sure too, like, and if you need our help, Susie was helping me. I said, Susie, like, I don't know if that sounds right. Like, I don't know if that clarity statement sounds right. And then she would say, well, how about blah? And then when she said it a certain way, I'm like, ah, and then I connected to it. So I just want to also point out too, what just happened here. Everybody shared because everybody leaned in.
Mhm.
I love it. I
And
love
everybody
it.
just felt their power. So that's what we do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, ladies. So that means Friday morning, send it to your coach, tag your coach. And if you want to, like, we said, hook up with someone else as your coach, you can do that too. But definitely take the challenge. If you're feeling, like if it's too vulnerable to share, at least share a few that you are willing to just, share with us. So,
Yeah.
all right, dolls, let's go ahead and take a picture and then you girls can have a great night.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, Susie, you gonna do the picture, Lavi?
Yep. Here
All
we
right.
go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What are we doing?
Whatever.
Picture. Awesome. All right, girls. Love you all. Have a great night, and we will talk soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, Sharona. Bye, Melissa. Bye, Susie.
Bye.